It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. And across the board, I got my man CB doing his thing. And to my left, I got a former Buckeye and a national champion, the people's champ. Tyvis Powell is in the building today. T, it's been too long. We finally get to rock out together again. How have you been, man?
Working, Matty Ice.
Yeah.
Working. You know, the thing about me is when you have a beautiful wife and you have two daughters, like they want a lot of stuff. So you got to work so you can be able to provide this stuff. So that's why you'll see me on the fan every day this week.
Santa Claus. 12 months out of the year is what you're saying. You're always providing the gifts.
That's correct. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing that's got me going is there's some new hip-hop beef going on that's keeping me energized and keeping me going and motivated every day.
We'll get to that in a second because something was in the air yesterday between sports and entertainment. Something was in the air. Thanks for joining us. We always appreciate your time. We're going to change things up just a little bit today with our programming. We usually talk to Adam Schefter at the bottom of the hour at 12:33 every Wednesday. He's going to slide to 1 o'clock. We're going to talk to Max Chadwick from Pro Football's Focus at 1:33 about all things college football. We've got ins and outs as well in the 1 o'clock hour. And then at 2:33, we're going to go out to Foxborough and talk to Mike Debate from Locked On Patriots about their selection of Drake May and everything else they have going on. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening in 2024, but this is turning into the year of the beef. This started with Cat Williams.
Yes, it did.
On Uncle Shay Shay's podcast. Now we've got Kendrick Lamar and Drake. We've got Chris Brown and Quavo going at it. The music world right now, the entertainment world right now, everybody has beef with everybody. And guess what? I'm here for it.
I am too, because I am King Switzerland on this. I am down the middle on everything. I'm neutral. Yeah. I have nobody that I'm cheering for more. I just like to hear good music.
Me too. And that's what we're going to get going in the summertime, the best time of the year. You fire up the cookouts, you fire up some of these crazy tracks, and it's going to be a good time.
Wait, but then I say all that, but we need more dance music.
I agree. Let's bring it back.
Like the summertime's coming out. Like we need the fresh. What happened to the Fresh Prince? Like summertime.
Will Smith dropping another Bad Boys, by the way. But to your point,
oh yeah, he is.
Can we get the late '90s, early 2000s
we need
vibes
we
back?
need some feel good music, that cookout music.
So you want to get your Harlem Shake on? That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you know the knees are starting to feel good again. It's time for me to get back out on that dance floor.
I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Let's start today, T. Well, last night in the sports world it was crazy. You had some bangers going on in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
You had a brawl in Major League Baseball between Tampa and Milwaukee. And then down in the Houston game, they had a 2-hour delay because of a beehive right behind home plate. And then you had the beekeeper who did his job. They granted him with the first pitch. I don't know what was in the air yesterday, man, but the sports world and entertainment world was a lot of fun.
You got to throw the first pitch.
I mean, he was out there grinding for 2 hours.
He saved the day.
He really did. They had to clear out the whole section behind home plate. If you were in that section, like those first 3 sections, you had to get out of there for 2 hours. The game was delayed.
Did he throw a strike?
I don't know. I didn't see the first pitch.
When I threw my first pitch for the back then Indians.
Yeah.
It was a little high. It was a little high. You know, it wasn't my.
Hey. Did you bounce it in there, though?
No.
Okay, good.
See,
that's all that matters to me.
I wasn't going to bounce it.
That's all that matters.
That's what the dude said. He said, if you're going to err, make sure you throw it high.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I was pitching to Shaq, it would have been a strike.
Waist high to Shaq and Yao Ming, huh? That was good. Did you practice a lot before, or did you just go a couple throws?
I had a couple throws.
Okay.
You know, I'm like, it's a natural for me. I was like, I grew up playing baseball. I got this.
Yeah, because you can't be on your 50 Cent.
But I never pit. Yeah, 50 Cent is he's out of pocket. I think he did that for clickbait. There's no way that he was dead serious about that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely insane. So the baseball world was fun last night, except for our two teams. You know, Reds and Guardians, they go down. But you guys are in charge right now.
Man,
and the AL Central still in charge right now.
Like Matty Ice, I admire the fight. That's the one thing about the Guardians. They are never out of it. No matter how much they go down, they have the ability to come back, and we saw that on full display.
Yeah.
But Cookie, man, Cookie.
I'm not hanging up.
It might be. You might be good for you might be a bullpen guy, like a couple of innings. Yeah. But man, after 2 innings, you got to come up out of there.
They got after him. Early, to say the least. So yeah, it was a fun stuff going on around sports, and then up in the land. Cavs get it done. Had to sweat it out a little bit.
Big night.
Against Orlando, but you had Evan Mobley with the block heard around the world.
Yeah.
And I know for some Cavs fans, it's kind of been a roller coaster ride with him, with his expectations coming into the year. The way he finished last year, especially on defense, and top 3, top 5 in defensive player of the year voting.
Second.
And all that good stuff.
Lost to the guy from Memphis, Jared Jackson Jr. Yeah.
But he showed why in that play. Well, he's an elite defender because Paolo Banchero, if you watched the game, you saw why he was one of the top draft picks just a couple years ago because he was getting buckets with the best of them. And Evan Mobley said, Franz Wagner, no, you're not getting to the rack on this one.
To be honest with you, that was on Franz Wagner, the reason why they didn't tie the game up on that layup. Fundamentals, man. That's the thing. You know what? That's what's wrong with these kids today, Matty Ice. They out there and they get cute and they get fancy. He wanted to go with the right. If he would have just went with the left, he would have shielded off Evan and it would have been a bucket.
But he went with that right.
And gave him an opportunity, and he took it.
And he took advantage of it. So that's a big-time win, right? With no Jared Allen coming into the game. He did not play at all, obviously. His rebounding has been incredible throughout the series. But this Magic team is making the Cavs earn it. I mean, their defense is for real. And you've seen struggles. Like, I know Darius Garland, he got off to a great start. First quarter.
It's about time.
Banger of a first quarter for him. But, right, to your point, it's been a peaks and valleys series for Donovan and Darius when it comes to their offense consistently. But, yeah, he hits him with 17 points in the first quarter. And that's what we know he's capable of.
Yeah.
Just for whatever reason, he just hasn't been locked in all the time.
But the thing about him what makes me laugh about him is even though he's not putting up the points, he's shooting well. Yeah. Like, it's like he the couple of shots he take a game, he actually makes them. He'd be like 4 for 7 or 4 for 6 or something like that. Last night, he shot really well, and he just was more aggressive. And, that was the big message that JB and everybody on the team has been saying, like, you get aggressive. Like, this team knows that you're looking to pass. If you come out there and change that and just be a scorer, you'll make a lot of more plays. And it was nice to see him come out. I projected that he would get his over of 15.5, and he would get 4 threes. He left me hanging. He had 3.
Isn't that the worst?
You know what? I laughed.
That close.
I just laughed. I was like,
that's all you can.
I'm like, one more?
That's all
just
you can.
One more.
And probably one of them was in and out. One of them that he missed on the other side. It's a cold world in the betting game. It really is. But then also you saw in the game too, right? Like one of the big acquisitions this offseason, Max Strus. He steps up.
It's about time for him too, because he was like a deer in the headlights.
Really
it was him and Niang. Both of them got huge playoff experience. Max Strus just went to the finals last year, so you're thinking in big moments when we need those big shots, he's the guy that we're going to look for. Obviously, everybody knows if you've been watching the game, you clearly see that Donovan's not 100%, and he hasn't been for the tail end of the season. So coming into this, you couldn't expect that much from him. And as this series goes on, he's going to only get worse. So that's why I wanted them to sweep him so he can get the rest. But they blew that. So
seems like we're going to 7 with the way that this series is
going. Can't nobody win on the road.
Going back and forth. Exactly. Because when the Cavs went down to Orlando, that was a nasty product.
I don't even.
It was a nasty product.
You know what? I don't even really want to talk about that.
Because the Men in Black.
Yeah, that right there. Like, I've never seen people. They just gave up.
It was crazy.
They just literally gave up.
To your point, though, like the third quarters in those games down in Orlando were a mess. Yeah. Cavs did a good job of winning the third quarter yesterday, 27-23. But in game 3, 16 points in the third quarter. Game 4, they scored 10 in the third quarter in an NBA game. So that was just absolutely a joke from them. But they got it together. You just highlighted what Max Strus did. You brought up George Niang. JB Bickerstaff
benched him.
Went away from him. Good. And Marcus Morris said, I will take those minutes, and I'm going to knock in some critical buckets late in the game and lead them to a victory. So Cavs get it done 104-103. Game 6 will be in Orlando. If you didn't catch what happened at the Garden yesterday in New York, you missed an incredible game because this Knicks and Sixers series is off the chain. right now.
I don't know what happened to Embiid, but Maxey said, I ain't going out like that. That's what you need. You know what? I respect Tyrese Maxey so much more now because he was like, you not going to do nothing? Get out the way. I do it.
46 points in the Garden for Tyrese Maxey after one of the buckets.
In the Garden. 46 points in one of the toughest venues. I guess in all the sports. At least we know the lights ain't too bright for him.
Not for him. And Embiid's looking around. I can roll with him for the next few years.
Oh, yeah.
I can roll with him for the next few years.
The question is, can Maxey roll with Embiid? That's the question.
Because his availability is always in doubt or questionable, right? When we get to the most important time. But one of the funniest things coming out of last night, if you missed it, Tyrese Maxey hits a big bucket.
Yeah, he did.
And he's hollering going up the sideline. And Jon Stewart is just in awe. Like somebody just told him that all his money in his bank account just got stolen. And then after the same bucket, there's a meme going around of Tracy Morgan sitting on the sideline giving him the finger.
Yeah, I saw that.
The finger. So no, it was a lot of fun last night around the NBA. And look, Maxey on the East Coast right now is emerging as a superstar. And out west, you got Anthony Edwards, a 22-year-old star in the making that just got Phoenix and KD out of there in 4 games.
He took the Suns. So when he dunked on KD, that man he might be Jordan reincarnated.
I mean, that's what they're saying. It's hard to push back on that. We got a long way to go.
Now, Jimmy Butler in the playoff Jimmy is definitely Mike reincarnated, but Anthony Edwards,
at 22, doing this,
man,
it's wild. Yeah, league's in good hands. So we talked about it a little bit yesterday, changing on the guard a little bit. In the NBA, LeBron, KD, Steph, all out of the postseason. All these young stars are taking over and playing at a very, very high level. So I'm here for it.
It's a guy that's in Milwaukee that should be the face, but
could be lurking in the weeds for Game 6. That's what Doc said.
They need him. Big win last night. Listen, the second team and the bench, they did what they were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Fight to see another game. Get your starters another day of rest, and hopefully they could be available. They need him in the worst way right now.
You may get Damian Lillard and Giannis.
If they get both of them back, it is no excuse.
Indy's in trouble. Coming up, why did Felix Okpara decide to leave Ohio State? He sat down with the Columbus Dispatch and gave his reasons why. We'll share those with you next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Ohio weather is so unpredictable. Don't get caught off guard when the first heat wave hits and your air conditioner is not up to the challenge. Whether your air conditioner needs a maintenance check or a full replacement, now is the time to call the Custom Air experts because your comfort is our priority. Why wait? Go to customairco.com or call us at 614-552-HVAC. Custom Solutions, Custom Comfort, Custom Air.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th. It's that one very special day each year that you can show your mom just how much she means to you and how much you appreciate all she's done for you. How about beautiful, colorful flowering gifts from Oakland Nursery? Hanging baskets exploding with flowers, hand-potted roses in more colors than you can name, and beautiful annuals for a spectacular garden. All that color, beauty, and love starts at Oakland. Mother Nature's beauty is one of the few things in life worthy of your mom. Happy Mother's Day from Oakland Nursery.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
Wilson, what's with the magic wand?
I'm trying to make our screens do that vanishing thingy yours do.
You mean the disappearing roll screens? Where the screen is there if you want it, or retracts and disappears if you don't?
Yeah, now, is that done with real magic?
No, it's not.
So I should probably take back the wizard's robe.
Yeah, I would. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Morning Juice.
I want to put a golf club in Williams' hand as soon as possible.
Oh, he can hit something with it.
Oh, of course. Well, he's not going to hit a ball. I'll probably hit a TV or hit the dog or hit me.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect 80s for the afternoon across central Ohio, a mix of sun and clouds. Most of us should stay dry, but a stray pop-up can't 100% be ruled out. We'll look at temperatures that continue in the low to mid 80s for Thursday with a better chance for afternoon showers and storms. Better chance that rain overall comes through Friday. Highs still in the 80s, but will fall to the 70s by the weekend. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Sign up at oh.bet365.com. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, Tyvis Powell, the former Buckeye and national champion, in the house today for AR. You know, you had the office smelling good before we came into the studio, man, with your lunch. You had some loops going on today?
Loops, man. Common Man put me on about a year ago. I was like, what's a good, I call them gyros. They call them Euros.
Right.
His gyros to me. I asked him what's a good gyro spot, and he was like, he recommended loops.
Yeah, they'll get you right.
And I had it, and it's like my third time having it. I'm like, you know what?
They've been rocking out with the station for a while. We've been big fans of loops for a long time.
Loops.
Speaking of Common Man, have you seen him on the Diners, Dives, and Jives episode on Food Network at Loops?
He's on
an episode.
Common Man.
The show with Guy Fieri. You can look it up.
That man that's in there right now.
When they came to Columbus.
Are you serious?
And went to Loops, Common Man is in that episode talking about it. See, you got to check it out.
Common Man is very modest. He doesn't really do a lot of bragging and stuff like that. So I would never know that.
Yeah, so we'll do it for him. But yeah, check it out, man. That's what he's doing in there. He probably hates that I even brought that up.
Wait till we go on our next break. I'm going right out there. Can I get your autograph?
So you had some egg rolls. You had a Euro today?
Little gyro roll.
Oh, gyro
Stop calling them Euros. I had a little gyro roll today, and then I actually had a gyro, but see, I don't like onions though. So classic gyro, extra tzatziki sauce.
Okay.
No onions.
So you do no onions on anything?
Yeah, I can't.
See, I love a good onion, man.
That is disgusting.
Especially like a caramelized onion, like a burger.
Disgusting.
Then you get the hot dog season.
It actually throws the taste of the whole thing off.
Okay, do you like hot dogs?
Yes.
So what do you put on your hot dogs?
Ketchup and mustard.
And that's it?
I mean, unless it's a chili dog.
All I need on my hot dog is yellow mustard and just raw onion, white onion. the best way to top a hot dog right there.
You just, you had me at yellow mustard, but you just kind of threw it away when you put through the onion.
See, I don't think ketchup belongs on a hot dog. In my world.
What are you, from Chicago?
No, I'm not from Chicago. Because I don't like how they put pickles on their hot dogs.
I can rock with that.
The Chicago style?
I can rock
it's
with
just
the spear. I need the ketchup, though.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
I don't need that's a lie.
The pickle, with the pickle and the ketchup, I don't know how that balances on my palate.
Maybe that don't sound that great.
What throws me off about the pickle is the spear. It's too much pickle on the hot dog. That's where they lose me with the Chicago style dog.
They should just fry them. I like fried pickles.
Love them.
Yeah.
But they got to be the chips.
You like the chips over this?
The chips.
I'd take them either way. Doesn't matter to me.
Get your little ranch on the side.
Yeah, or some Southwest sauce. Ooh,
that's a win all day and tomorrow. Let's get to some Buckeye basketball talk because there's a lot of movement this offseason with guys going in the portal, guys coming through the portal to Columbus. But one of the most recent departures was Felix Okpara. And we found out not too long ago that he's leaving Columbus to go down to Knoxville and get coached up by Rick Barnes. And our guy Adam Jardy, who does a great job of covering the Buckeye basketball program, got some quotes from Felix Okpara, and here's one of his reasons why he left. He said, quote, "I was thinking of my last 2 years playing college basketball and how I want to make it better and at least win and go to the NCAA tournament. I was at a point where I had to decide what's going to be best for me. It's been really tough these last 2 years at Ohio State basketball-wise. It was a personal decision." He went on to talk about whether or not Aaron Bradshaw was the reason why he left. And he said, quote, "Bradshaw didn't really have anything to do with this. When I was committed to come back, when everyone started leaving, I started questioning. That had been going on for like a week before Bradshaw even committed. Me and Aaron were completely different players. It really had nothing to do with him." When you hear those quotes from Felix Okpara, where does your mind go?
My mind tells me that he doesn't believe in the team. That's it. That's what he's saying without actually saying those words. He looked around. He seen Roddy Gale leave. He saw Scotty Middleton leave. He was like, you know what? I think those are key guys. I respect their game. I think they're big contributors. I'm not really sure what we have left. Yes, we got Bruce, but Bruce can't do it by himself. And they had Meechie Johnson. Maybe he doesn't believe in Meechie Johnson that much either. But to me, when he says, I wanted to go somewhere where I could try to make the NCAA tournament, like that tells me that you don't believe in the quote unquote rebuild. And they don't call it rebuild, they call it reload. You got a new coach in there, a coach that everybody seemed to gravitate to. Y'all started playing better. Y'all was playing y'all best basketball under him. And you don't think that that's good enough. So to me, it just tells me that he doesn't believe in the coaching staff and he doesn't believe in the rest of the players there, that he thinks that they're good enough to make the tournament.
Yeah, it's hard to push back on anything you said.
That's really what he said without saying
no
it.
question, right? And like part of me doesn't all the way believe him on the Bradshaw part, but that's what he says. Because I like it, especially in the world that we're living in, right? Where the NIL is always involved with all of these decisions. And Bradshaw was a guy coming from Kentucky that, look, he's got a lot to prove. Mm-hmm. He didn't get to play a bunch at UK under Cal. And it's going to be interesting to see how Bradshaw does handle that, right? Coming over, he played, 13 minutes a game last year. Now he's looking like he's going to have to be able to play 20, 25 minutes plus a night here in Columbus.
The thing about them is they were like polar opposites. When you look at Felix is a defender. He's a rim protector. When you look at Aaron, he's actually a post-move shot maker type of guy. So they actually would have been perfect interchangeable. But I think that when you look at today, he's obviously Aaron is 7'1", Felix is 6'10", so that's a little bit of a difference there. But I think that sometimes people weigh that offense over that defense. I mean, you think about just the NBA, you'd rather take the guy, you'd rather take Nikola Jokic over Rudy Gobert. Mm-hmm. Rudy going to stop you at the paint, but I want the guy that can score as well. Right. So maybe that played a part of it too.
No question. To your point, there may be some give and take going on here, right? Because Bradshaw is going to come in potentially with a higher ceiling on offense, but to your point, we saw Okpara, he's one of the best shot blockers in the conference.
Like 2.6 a game or something like that.
So what are we going to get from Austin Parks? That's now a question, right? When you talk about the size, because Zed Key is no longer here as well, and Zed could do some good things for you when he got minutes out there on the floor.
How tall is Devin Royal? 6'8"?
He's somewhere in that window, 6'8", 6'9", on the top of my head.
Okay, that's decent size.
I'm glad you brought him up because that's a guy that this is a huge summer for him.
Oh, he better.
Right? Big-time recruit coming out. local guy. Now here we are with an opportunity to get in the front court, get out there on the wing, and do some things, because up top, it feels like what you're going to get from Michi and Bruce should be offensively in a good spot game in and game out, right? I know for Michi coming from South Carolina, you look at some of the efficiency, that hasn't been great. That's who he's been his entire career. I don't know if you're going to get a major uptick in efficiency from him, but he's one of those guys, in basketball, he's not going to shy away from the moment. No. He's going to want the ball, and I think he's going to hit some tough shots, late in games or in critical moments for Ohio State this year.
I think for a backcourt, I think they actually work perfect together, because you got Bruce, who wants to get everybody involved, but then you got Michi, who's kind of like, give me the ball. I want you to find me and give me the ball. I'm going to take those shots. I'm going to drive to the lane and do all those things. So they kind of work perfectly. It wouldn't work if you got two guys that's about the same, that wants the ball and wants to do everything. So I think those two work out there. The only question mark is the shooting on this team. We got to get us some sharp shooters out there, because obviously you losing Jamison Battle, who was the guy. We got to find a way to replace him. You cannot win this game without shooting. That's just how the game is today.
Right. You're so right. And to add to your point, Scotty Middleton, too, was north of 40
clip he was.
From 3. So you lost two guys on the wing, on the perimeter, that could really give it to a defense from outside. And we saw even from Battle, especially late down the stretch, like it wasn't just three-point shooting. He was putting that thing on the floor, applying
What shocked
pressure.
me when he hit the up fake and went to the rim and dunked, I didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So look, you got Micah Parrish, who comes in from San Diego State. He's been a spotty three-point shooter throughout his career, and I don't even know if they're completely done building this roster. But losing Okpara, no question, it's a big hit on defense. And the reason why he picked Tennessee, he says, quote, they're a really good defensive team. They've had success the last 5 years. They've been top 5 defensively in the country, and I'm a defensive player. I feel I can come in, produce right away. They have a really good coach in Rick Barnes. I feel like I can learn a lot from him. So from the X and O side of things, that makes total sense.
Yes.
Because Tennessee's been putting people in handcuffs the last few seasons.
Not to mention, I think he's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, so.
Going home.
Exactly. He probably grew up like, I want to play for the Volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Absolutely. CB, you just got my ear about Schefter. What do you got on him?
Yeah, he says he can do his normal time if you'd like.
Okay, we'll roll with that. We'll roll with that on the fly. We'll come back and talk to our guy, Adam Schefter, about all things NFL after this. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I need you to listen up real quick. One of the largest manufacturers in the United States for CPAP machines recently announced they're suspending sales of all their breathing machines over problems with the devices. Millions of Philips Respironic ventilators and CPAP machines are being recalled now that they've reached a plea agreement with the FDA. That all doesn't sound good. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm not going to deal with my sleep apnea, because I don't want to have a bulky CPAP. Well, this is where you need to call my guy, Dr. Mark Levy. Dr. Mark Levy has dedicated his practice to helping people who suffer from sleep apnea, and he can create a custom mouthpiece for you that stops your snoring and effectively treats your sleep apnea with no CPAP machine. Yeah, he's in network with most major medical insurers and is a Medicare provider too. This is Dr. Mark Levy's passion. He's been doing this a long time. He wants to help you with your sleep apnea and also make it so your partner doesn't want to murder you dead because you snore so much. So do what I did. Call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Save up to $150 on select sets of 4 Vredestein tires at AAA Car Care Plus. Not a member? Not a problem. Everyone can save up to $150 on Vredestein tires through May 31st at AAA Car Care Plus locations. See store for details.
Here's your cool tip from Custom Air. It's time to clean up the space around your air conditioner. Clear plants and debris obstructing airflow around the unit. Also, don't hit your unit with weed eaters. Don't struggle with your AC this summer. Go to CustomAirCo.com. Custom solutions, custom comfort, Custom Air.
If you love your meals with a taste of exploration, check out the Latin Flavors event at Kroger. Embark on new culinary adventures with vibrant tastes and fresh possibilities, with Latin-themed inspiration and palate-pleasing recipes available in store and online. It's the Kroger Latin Flavors event, now through May 7th. We hope to see you there.
And right now, 16-ounce packages of Private Selection Angus 90% lean ground sirloin are $4.99 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
One more rep. You got it.
10.
Nice work. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I gotta tell you, taking Nugenix Total T makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix, that's the testosterone booster TV ads with Frank Thomas, the big hurt, right?
Yes, the key ingredient is Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles to people?
Yes, Nugenix is a great way to feel stronger and leaner with more energy. And as Frank says, she'll like it too.
I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
Just send a text. Text back to 231231 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text BACK to 231231. That's back to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice. I got the former Buckeye Tyvis Powell in for AR today. We're going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangas hotline right now and link up with our guy, Adam Schefter, the ESPN NFL insider. Shefty, happy Wednesday. How are you, my man?
Matty Ice, Tyvis, how you guys doing today?
Doing well, doing well. Shefty, I want to start in Atlanta and just get your opinion on, I think, the pick that shocked a lot of people in the first round, and that's Michael Penix going to Atlanta, now behind Kirk Cousins. Your thoughts on that and what has been kind of the reaction around the league since that pick has been made?
Well, there's no doubt that that's the pick that has generated the most debate, and I can see the arguments on both sides. And again, I think that both sides have a case. Number one, if you believe in a player that much, like the Falcons believed in Michael Penix Jr., I got no problem. You go take him. No issue there. It's a quarterback, most valuable position in sports. All great. Also good there. No issues there. I think that the bigger thing that I have a question about is, number one, I think they could have traded back to, at the very least, number 10, gotten an extra draft pick from the Jets who had an interesting coming up. And so you could have gotten Michael Penix Jr., in my mind, at 10, gotten an extra fourth, and it's just one more defensive reinforcement that you have. Number two, if you were all in on Michael Penix like that and you knew you were going to be that, then why would you give Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed 5-6 weeks earlier? That's interesting. Now, again, I think that they felt it was so important to basically tie up that position, but they obviously devoted a lot of resources, a lot, in terms of free agent dollars and draft capital. But on the flip side, they signed the number one free agent. They drafted a quarterback that they loved, and they've got two quarterbacks now, so they should have that position taken care of for years to come, conceivably.
Shefty, I'm going to keep you right there at the quarterbacks. When you look at the ones that went in the first round, which quarterback do you think is walking into the best situation?
Well, I think a lot of it is about who is your coach, the coach you'll be working with, and who is the team that's surrounding you with. And I think you look at, Caleb Williams has got a great cast around him. Jaden Daniels has some strong coaches and personnel. Drake May's going to have to wait a bit behind, in my mind, Jacoby Brissett, which is a good thing while they build the personnel there. Michael Penix is going to wait behind Kirk Cousins. J.J. McCarthy's got a great coaching staff, some great offensive personnel, really good spot for him. And Bo Nix has got a coaching staff that also is fully behind him, some decent offensive personnel. And anytime Sean Payton is your rabbi, so to speak, you're going to have a real chance to succeed. So I don't like the situation for – it's not like I not like the situation for any of these guys. They all have certain strengths to the spot that they're stepping into, but obviously, some teams have better personnel, some teams have better coaching, some teams have better situations. So I think you could argue strengths for all of them.
Adam Schefter joining us here on the Fan via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Shefty, the future seems to be really bright down in Houston, and one piece of that is Tank Dell. But coming out of this weekend, it seems like he was involved in a pretty scary situation. Hit us with the details on that.
Well, from what it seems like, he was in the middle of crossfire, and there was allegedly a 16-year-old that was arrested, shooting at a place in Florida. Here's the deal. We don't know what did and didn't happen. I just think it's another reminder. And, Tank Dell, I don't know how old he is, 22, 23 years old. You can't tell guys not to go out, not to enjoy their lives. I just think, again, I'm an older guy. It's easy for me to say because I did go out at that time. Like, when you have that much to lose and you have that much going on in your life in a good way, I would be so careful about everything that I do. It's just not, it's just not worth it to me, to risk it. So I don't love that, but guy's got to live his life, and he was very fortunate not to be hurt worse than he was.
Adam,
very fortunate.
One of the biggest things during the draft was actually with the 49ers and no wide receivers between Debo and Brandon Ayuk. They take Ricky in the first round. Is there a way that all three of these guys stay on this roster this year, or do you think one of them gets traded? Speaking of Ayuk and Debo.
Well, I can tell you this, that their plan is to keep all of them right now. Now, could that change? Sure, that could change. But the plan right now is to keep everybody. And here's the deal. Like, Brandon Ayuk is headed into the last year of his contract. They've been trying to get an extension done, haven't been able to do it. We'll see if they can bridge their differences. But Ayuk is headed into the last year of his deal. Juwan Jennings is headed into the last year of his deal. And then you got Deebo Samuel in the last year of guaranteed money. So, he's got 2 years left in his contract, Debo, last year of guaranteed money. But that's the situation. So, I think the plan is to keep all of them.
Okay. Shefty, down in Cincinnati, the Bengals have got a couple disgruntled players, and Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins. Any update on what's going on with them, or what could happen, or are things still about the same?
Yeah, yesterday, we're in a situation here with these guys where the draft comes and goes, and if they're not traded and they're still on the roster, the chances of them being traded diminish tremendously. And the Bengals view it as a team being in a position to compete for a Super Bowl title and to get to the playoffs. They're not looking to trade these guys, even though they're not happy with their contractual situation. They both want new deals. Neither player's happy right now with the situation in Cincinnati. But the Bengals, they're operating like, okay, we know you're not happy. That's the way it is. T. Higgins, you're on the franchise tag. Trey, you are basically on a deal that's going to pay you $15 million this year. You committed to that. And they're willing to take on whatever consequences come along with players being unhappy rather than moving them. And that's kind of where they're at. So I don't think that they're going to move on from either player.
Schefter, the Cleveland Browns decided to take, obviously they didn't have a first-round pick because of the Deshaun Watson trade. With their second-round pick, they got Mike Hall from The Ohio State University. Were you shocked that they went defensive tackle instead of a wide receiver with this being such a wide receiver-heavy draft?
No, that was a guy that they liked. That was a guy they wanted. That was a need that they felt they needed to address. You know, I don't have an issue with that. That was something that they felt was important. So, obviously a guy they felt really good about, because there was a lot of good talent in the draft at that spot, and for the Browns to go in that direction at that time tells you that they really valued him. And so, no issues there in my mind.
So Zeke's back in Dallas. Schefter, are the Cowboys done addressing the running back position, or do you think they could maybe even add one more?
Well, they could add one more if they want. It's a question of, who do you want to add? Do you want to add Dalvin Cook? You could go do that. He's still out there. I'm sure he'd have an interest in going into Dallas. The running back market not exactly robust right now. So, again, we'll see how it all shakes out. But I think Dallas feels like it's kind of set. Like they got Ezekiel Elliott, got Rico Dowdle, got Deuce Vaughn, got Royce Freeman. Again, you and I wouldn't look at the backfield and say, wow, this is one of the best backfields in the league. But I think they feel pretty good about it right now.
Schefter, when I look at the Buffalo Bills, obviously they lost Gabe Davis and they lost Stephon Diggs this year in offseason. Do you think that they did enough to replace that talent and put enough around Josh Allen? Because Tom Brady was on the podcast and he said that Josh Allen is the quarterback that he sees getting the ring that doesn't have one first.
Here's the deal. Sometimes there's addition by subtraction. And as great as Stephon Diggs is, and he's great, everybody could see that he wasn't particularly happy there the last couple of years. And everybody felt like there was a lot of gossip. Didn't show up for the mandatory minicamp last year. Issues of him wanting to be there. His brother advertising that he didn't want to be there. Sometimes that stuff detracts from the situation. So if you move on from him, are they as talented? No, they're not. No team can be better moving on from Stephon Diggs. But could they get great production, and could they have an effective room and do it? Like we've seen that happen all the time. I remember one of the very first teams I ever covered was the Denver Broncos, and they had these high-profile wide receivers, Anthony Miller, free agent wide receiver, Mike Pritchard. Denver moved on from both, and everyone's like, wow, how do you replace Anthony Miller and Mike Pritchard? And lo and behold, they had a couple of guys that were waiting for their opportunity, named Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith, and they won 2 Super Bowls. So just because Stephon Diggs is the name and he's not there doesn't mean that Buffalo's production is going to drop off a cliff right now.
Going to be interesting to see, no doubt about it. Schefter, we appreciate you as always, and we will catch up with you next week, my man.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Yeah, you too. There he goes, Adam Schefter, the ESPN NFL insider. He was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Real quick, T, you mentioned the Bills. The only thing I don't understand is trading with Kansas City in the first round and allowing Kansas City to get Xavier Worthy. It may work out with Keon Coleman, but trading with a direct competitor who you've been going head-to-head with, who you're trying to get through to get to a Super Bowl, that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds.
I never thought about it that way. That was maybe, you know what? Maybe it's the Xavier Worthy. Maybe they look at it like it's fool's gold. Maybe they're like, good. That's who we want y'all to take. Good.
But you know how it's probably going to work. Xavier Worthy's probably going to be hitting big plays.
Yeah, we thought Kadarius Toney would be that.
That is true.
It didn't work out.
Some of these speedsters, you never know, right? I mean, you could be Anthony Schwartz or you could be Deshaun Jackson.
At the end of the day, I think Keon Coleman is a good. It's nice for Josh Allen, a big body guy you can throw the ball up to and go over guys to make plays.
But man.
But you also got a guy that you can't even overthrow? Woo, that would be nice too.
Coming up, there's been a lot of speculation over the last 24 to 48 hours about what's next for LeBron James. The King himself took to Twitter to clear things up. We'll tell you what he said next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, especially if you get it with a small coffee or soft drink for just $5. Get to Wendy's for a Cinnabon Pull-Apart today.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPV, LLC.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and I'm going to piggyback on what Chops has already challenged you all with, dropping 40 pounds by the 4th of July. Sounds crazy, right? Well, I dropped 50 in that same amount of time with Awaken 180. 40 by the 4th is a cakewalk? Yeah. Put a real goal on your calendar. It changes the game. Imagine this. Your scale is flashing 230 pounds today. What if I told you it could read 190 by the 4th of July? Maybe it's sitting at 300 right now. Think about how sweet 260 would look. Easier on the eyes, and hey, for me, it's been easier on the golf course too. It's totally doable. Look at the stats. Me, 50 pounds. Chops, 95 pounds. Scotty Vegas is already down 40. We're talking real results, attainable goals, and a process so simple it feels like cheating. Except it's totally legit. Awaken 180 is the cheat code we all need. Drop your 40 by the 4th and celebrate with a cracked beer and burger in hand like me. It starts with one call to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Dial 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Buckeye Show.
I can still remember when my dad would have me put all of my pads on, like in Pee Wee football, and just ask me to hit him, like out in the yard.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing and Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Hi, this is ESPN's Mike Greenberg, and ESPN Bet is ready to take you through all the biggest sports moments this spring. The official sports book of ESPN has exclusive offers and markets from Scott Van Pelt, Stephen A. Smith, and me. From the playoff intensity to finally getting out to the ballpark, there's no better time for sports fans. Sign up today, and new users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sportsbook bet. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Matty Ice, Tyvis Powell in the house today. Probably a little too hot for lobster bisque today, TB.
It is. It's not that season right now.
I mean,
I can enjoy it now. Don't get me wrong. We go to a nice steakhouse or a nice seafood place, and I see lobster bisque.
It's going down.
You got to get it, because it's so hard to find good lobster bisque. And if you find it,
when you get those little gems, those little nuggets of lobster in there. Sometimes I like to take a little bread too, T, and dip that in there.
Yeah, that sets it all the way off.
But man, I could be a year-round lobster bisque type of guy.
I ain't say it was wrong. You could do that.
Just come in the house, turn the AC on.
That's like, I had got into I was trying to explain to my wife that, the boots, Timberland boots.
Yeah.
I call them butters.
Right.
I was explaining to her that you could wear those all year round. And she looked at me like I was insane.
I mean, you can get away with the
Batty Ice. At 100-degree weather, you can wear butters, and nobody in Cleveland, this is in Cleveland, they won't say anything. They'd be like, oh, he's fresh.
It's definitely a Midwest East Coast thing for sure. Like, I grew up in Baltimore. A lot of people I know were from New York too, and that's like the Timbs.
Oh yeah, in New York, you could definitely 100% all year round.
White tee, jeans, and some Timbs, and you can get it done. Like, that's a kind of a staple in New York.
Yeah,
white tee, blue jeans,
and butters,
and a Nike and a New York Yankees fitted.
Yep.
Like, that's what you see a lot of.
You'll see that is the common. That's the go-to. If you just chilling, I'm chilling. That's what I'm wearing.
But I don't think I can go boots in the summer unless at night we're going to a dinner. But I'm talking like a dress boot, like a Chelsea boot, or something like that.
I'm talking. I would wear butters, and I don't have any. I got to rebuy some because you got to rebuy
every
them
year.
Yeah,
every year.
So
You have to, right? Because the boots they get messed up so easily in the wintertime. You got to do it every year.
I'm glad that you understand.
Those were my going out shoes back in college.
Yeah,
some butters?
Yeah.
Hey,
I like that CP knows about the butter.
Yeah, you do.
Let's talk a little bit about a man that used to get down in Cleveland, and that is LeBron James. Lakers out of the postseason after losing again to the Denver Nuggets, this time in 5. Gentleman sweep this year. But now here we are, where LeBron has an option to opt out of a contract, to go elsewhere, or he can lock back in with the Lakers. And he was hearing all the noise, and then late last night, LeBron dropped this tweet. I've seen and heard a lot of reports about my future. I said it last night, and I'll say it again. I do not know yet, as I'm only thinking about spending time with my family and friends. When I know, after speaking with the fan, my counsel as well, my representation about it, it then will go to you guys. Until then, he hit us kind of with the emoji. But Brian Windhorst, who we know is very tapped in to the NBA and has good connections with LeBron, he talked a little bit about LeBron's future and what could be in store.
However, I do think that LeBron intends to opt out of his contract and become a free agent for the first time since 2018. And I think that will apply a little bit of pressure to the Lakers. I think he's doing it for 3 reasons. Number one, because I think he wants to see what the Lakers do around the draft. They have potentially 3 first-round picks that they can trade, a couple of contracts that they can package with it to upgrade the team. You remember that they did not make any significant upgrades to this team at the trade deadline. LeBron did not forget that, and I do think he likes to have that pressure on them. Number 2, as you may have heard, his son Bronny may be, and I expect to be, in this draft. The Lakers, I think, will keep their draft pick. The New Orleans Pelicans have the option to either take this year's pick or defer to next year. I believe the Pelicans will defer to next year, so I think the Lakers will go into the draft with the 17th overall pick and the 55th overall pick. LeBron has expressed an interest in possibly playing with his son. The Lakers will have potentially 2 chances to draft him. And number 3, I think that there's some features that he can put in a new contract. Number 1, if he opts in, he only gets 1 year and $50 million. He could potentially get multi-years. And also, he does not have a no-trade clause in his contract. There's only one out there in the NBA. It belongs to Bradley Beal. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd like to lock that in as well. So I do think we're going to be hearing some silence from LeBron between now and the end of June as we watch what the Lakers do as a team.
When you hear all that, T, what do you think?
It's done. The Lakers thing is done.
You think he's leaving?
That is done. Because anytime he does that, I'm not going to say anything about what they should do upstairs. I'm going to focus on my I heard him say that in Miami. I heard him say that in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Now he's saying it again. Every time he said it, phew, he was out of there. So with that being said, I don't blame him. Then you got Magic Johnson, the guy who brought him in, got on Twitter. We got to get younger. We don't have the talent anymore. You look at the Nuggets. They're a young team. You look at the Warriors, not the Warriors, the Thunder, the Minnesota. Yeah, you look at all these teams that are young, and we're old. We got to get young. So when I hear stuff like that coming from Magic Johnson, and he the one that brought LeBron in, like, come on, man.
Magic Johnson was also the guy that bailed on LeBron before a game.
I ain't going to be here.
One of the craziest sports moments I've seen in a long time. But what's going to be crazy, T, is does he say no to $50 million a year from LA at this point in his career? And if he can get it elsewhere, then I think absolutely he'll be open to leaving.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world.
Listen,
here's what
I tell you what. When you in the media world, which I don't consider myself a media guy.
I mean,
no, don't just let me have it, okay? Don't. I'm a former player. I don't look at myself as whatever
media member.
No, I'm a former athlete. Anyways, when you're around the world, you just hear rumblings, and it's, to me, I've heard enough rumblings that if Bronny James is there, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers will select. But the thing about it is, and this has nothing to do with them selecting him, I just don't. It's not in this world. It's not about what you know. It's who you know. And that applies for the NBA. That's unbelievable to me because Bronny, statistically,
is not.
It's terrible.
He did not look the part last year, to say the least. So, hey,
but
man,
he's still gonna go first round.
When your dad's LeBron James,
that's hey, man.
And owners,
I gotta step my game up for my daughters. Then
could be a fun off season with LeBron. It really could. Let me say this: if he does leave LA, I think what would be fun basketball wise, get him to Philly. Get him to Philly. I don't think he's coming back to Cleveland if Donovan Mitchell wasn't there. That's the one thing. Donovan would have to be there for him to come home, in my opinion.
I tell you what, that's a whole nother topic right there. We could spend on that too.
We can talk about that later. We can talk about
that core four thing.
Yeah, it's probably take it out the oven.
It's done.
Yeah,
it's done. After this, it's done.
Take it out the oven. Coming up, how interested were the Steelers in acquiring Brandon Ayuk during the draft? We'll let you hear from their GM Omar Khan about it next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
Networks make it possible to share data from lots of places, like a bird sanctuary.
Good eye. There is a typo. Thanks.
But to make them powerful enough to deliver new opportunities at the edge, you need CDW and Aruba. CDW experts can help design and implement an Aruba Edge Services platform, which unifies, secures, and automates network environments everywhere, so you can translate data into innovation.
Sorry, do you mind? This is confidential.
Aruba makes visibility at the edge possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We all have something to get off our chest. Therapy is a safe space to share whatever is weighing you down, so you can get some relief and find a solution. BetterHelp offers professional, affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Let it out with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Carlin today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Carlin.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. Reliable streams of income are crucial for retirees, and Social Security and pensions aren't enough. We can help. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Take action with Logan Services. Call now for savings up to $2,700 on a qualifying train system and 0% APR financing for 72 months. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Schedule your installation now and pick one freebie. Installation takes just 1 day. We make home comfort easy, so book your free estimate now. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Open your door to a gorgeous Nature Stone garage floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. This month only, save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The transfer portal closed yesterday with no real surprise for Ohio State as they keep all their starters and all 5 quarterbacks. Lathan Ransom was on Morning Juice this morning, and he said this defense wants to be the best ever.
Our goal is to be the best defense that's been here at Ohio State. And I know that might hurt, but that's our goal. And it's easy to say that, but I'm honestly so tired of the goals and the preseason. Oh, wow, look how good Ohio State looks. I'm excited to go out there and do it.
Afternoon baseball today for the Reds as they take on the Padres at 4:10. Graham Ashcraft opposes Joe Musgrove. The Guardians, they're still in Houston battling the Astros. What a pitching matchup tonight. It's Tristan McKenzie taking on Justin Verlander. First pitch is at 8:10. NBA playoffs tonight. The Celtics look to eliminate the Heat. That one at 7:30. Then the Clippers host the Mavericks at 10. This one's sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, CB, and the national champion, Tyvis Powell, in for AR today. You ever get tired of hearing that?
What?
You're a national champion?
No.
You should, man.
You know, it's just one of those things that as life goes on, the further I get removed from it, the more I don't even...
You're numb to it, man.
Yeah.
But guess what? The people of Columbus, Buckeye Nation worldwide.
Until they get another one, then I'll be an afterthought.
And some say 2024. This may be it.
It better be.
This may be it. This may be it.
It's all or nothing. That's the mindset of everybody in that building.
Man, looks good on paper, but as you know, you could tell me, better than anybody. Paper doesn't do anything.
Not at all.
Paper doesn't do anything. CB, what do you got for us, man?
Yeah, so news? I only bring this up if it's really important, and I did see it has an Ohio State connection, so I want to let you know from Jeff Borzello over at ESPN. He said that, quote, Seth Towns will not be returning to college for his 9th season. He will not be. He did have 1 year of eligibility remaining, but he will not use that.
Crazy.
Like 9 years? Let it go. It's over.
I want to say that there's a Florida football player right now that is at that.
Is it the tight end?
Yes.
I think it's Miami.
Is it Miami? Okay, there's somebody down in Florida that's within that 7 to 9 year window of a college career.
When you get to that, is your goal still pro?
I mean, I would assume so. You tell me. You're the former athlete, right? Like you're always going to chase that.
At some point, you know it's not going.
It's cooked.
Yeah,
just injury after injury.
You walk in the NFL 30 years old. Who why would they?
Yeah, his name is Cam McCormick. He's calling 2024 his last ride. It was a makeup for a COVID year.
What year? Yeah, how old is he?
I just know he's going to be a 9th year senior.
I want to know how old this kid. If it's his 9th year, what is he? 26? That's ridiculous. 27? Come on now.
Probably around there.
What is he? What's the dude that the Browns took? Brandon Whedon?
From Oklahoma State years ago.
Come on,
I remember that.
Let it go.
I remember that. Brandon Whedon, though, at the time, was, I believe, a similar age to some of the quarterbacks that are coming out now. If I'm remembering correctly, Brandon Whedon was 24.
No, he was 27, 28.
Way older.
Way older than that.
Okay, so I was off on that. But I think now what's interesting to you is when you look at these guys coming out now, Bo Nix,
this is the last year of the COVID stuff, so, right? Yeah,
Brandon Whedon, he was an OG. He was an OG coming out.
But I guess, you know what? Who am I? If you said the dream is still there, and all you really need is an opportunity. If somebody wanted to say, you know what, you're 27 years old, come on, we'll give you a camp invite.
Hey man,
you go in there, you light it up. There it is.
Still a pathway to get to it.
Make sure you save your money because it's not going to be long.
That's what I was going to say. The tough part of that is getting to the second contract in the league.
Yeah, you might not, but to say that you even was there is, I got people that never made it out of rookie minicamp, but at least they got that opportunity. A lot of people can't even say that.
I'm not mad at anybody that goes overseas, plays in the Arena League.
Do it as long as you can.
Absolutely.
Do it as long as you can.
I respect it. Let's talk a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers and some AFC North football, because I tell you what, T, coming out of the draft, I've seen a lot of these draft grades, these draft analysts on TV and on social media loving what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done.
Yeah.
They really like what they did up front.
I did too.
Getting some more offensive linemen. I'll tell you a sneaky pick that if you're an AFC North fan.
Roman Wilson.
Well, not only Roman Wilson, but the other Wilson. Peyton Wilson, the linebacker from NC State.
He would have been the top linebacker in this draft. He just dealt with so many injuries. That's the only thing. If he's healthy, he's instinctual. He's as good as any linebacker in this draft. His concerns was the medical part.
Didn't they say he doesn't have an ACL on like one of his knees?
I'm pretty sure that's right. But CB, he runs really well still.
He good.
You know, he reminds me of when you were talking about the injuries when the Cowboys drafted Leighton Vander Esch a couple years ago, and he gave him a couple good years, and then now he's dealing with the injury stuff again. But the reason why I think that could be a really good pick is because they stole Patrick Queen from Baltimore too. So if they hit on Peyton Wilson with those two running around behind T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward and Highsmith and company, the Steelers unit as a whole could really be on to something if they hit on these offensive line picks.
I feel like they haven't really drafted particularly well at linebacker the past since like Ryan.
They've been searching.
Yeah,
they went through the Devin Bushes of the world.
Devin Bush was a first round pick. It didn't. He's with the Browns now. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Maybe it is. Maybe it will hit.
Man, that's so unfortunate.
Patrick Queen should be a big pick, but and when you look at their draft, though, they hit every area of concern. You know, you go out there, you get all these guys. Everybody wanted to blame the quarterback, but that offensive line wasn't great. Like for the past since Ben's last season, they haven't been great. They was giving up a bunch of sacks then. So. Right. It's nice that they finally addressed it. I think they got I want to say they got a tackle last year in the first round. They went tackle this year, and then they went center and guard. So now you got roughly one half of a line in this year's draft. If those guys are all hits and they all can be productive, you know, that offensive line can take you a long way, especially in the AFC North. You know, the trenches battle is big. You got to think that Pittsburgh went into this, and actually a lot of teams went in this and thought, like, we got to go against the Cleveland Browns and their D-line. They just picked up another D-lineman in this draft, so we got to counter that. And it's funny to me how the Browns have dictated those terms to where they affect how people draft. Some people would be like, I can go for the good player, but I ain't going to dominate the trenches. So it's nice that Steelers addressed that, not for a Browns fan, but for Pittsburgh. That's what they needed to do.
No question. I mean, you just look around the division right now, you better have good guys up front because, you know, you look at in Baltimore Justin
led the league in sacks.
And Matabike was a young guy that was a monster. You know, down in Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard will get after you.
Did y'all re-sign
Van Noy?
Clowney?
He's in Carolina.
So who's y'all edge?
It's going to be Matabike. Remember, they bet on.
I thought he was a D tackle.
What they're betting on is a couple guys from the Big Ten. Remember, Oweh from Penn State. They picked up his fifth-year option.
The 4-3 guy.
And then they selected, remember, Ajabo from Michigan a couple years ago. Remember, he tore his Achilles.
He's at the pro day.
At the pro day. Yeah. So they're banking on a couple of those guys popping off, and they did bring back Kyle Van Noy. But your point is really strong because the Steelers, not only this offseason, but even last year, you mentioned that first-round pick. Remember, they brought in some veteran interior offensive linemen. So they're going to find a way to throw out, I think, a good product along that offensive line, and that obviously is going to help, whether it's Russell Wilson or Justin Fields consuming most of the snaps at the quarterback position. But there were some rumors this weekend, and there's been a lot of rumors over the last couple of weeks about Brandon Ayuk and whether or not he's going to be on the move. Could it be Brandon Ayuk? Could it be Deebo Samuel? I know you and I were talking during the break. We like Ricky Pearsall.
He's good.
The Florida receiver that they drafted.
Did you see C.J. Stroud's reaction?
Yeah, he wanted him.
Yeah. Which blows my mind because where is he going? Like, you got three good wide You got Diggs, Tank, and Nico Collins. Where was Ricky going?
Maybe in C.J.'s mind, he's like,
the more the merrier?
Well, Diggs is on a 1-year deal. And so maybe that was in his mind somewhere. But to your point, CJ
he's good.
They're in good hands right now. They're in good hands right now. But Omar Khan, the Steelers GM, was on Pat McAfee's show yesterday, and he was asked about whether or not the Steelers did show interest in trying to acquire Brandon Ayuk over the weekend.
Yeah, Omar, yesterday the internet was abuzz because the Steelers were going to trade for basically every wide receiver the 49ers had. Did you see any of that? And when you do see it, do you know that you got a leak, or do you know that there's just people cooking up?
You know what? I heard about it. I didn't exactly see it. You know, there's nothing going on right now, so I'm not exactly sure what the verbiage was, what was reported. Nothing to report.
So nothing going on right now, but my question is, T, should they be aggressive in trying to acquire Brandon Ayuk before the season starts? The Steelers.
Most definitely.
I agree.
Yes, 1,000%. Listen, you get George Pickens, Brandon Ayuk, and Roman Wilson all in the receiving core with Pat Freiermuth. Like, that's a great – wow, that's like top of the line receiving core right there. Now you're banking on Roman Wilson to be a good pick, which I think he will be. I think if he for the Wolverines, if they passed the ball more, he would have had a much more statistically better season than what he had. But George Pickens, the good news is all of them are different receivers, if that makes sense. Like, you got a guy at George Pickens, the big play guy. Throw the ball up, he'll make something spectacular happen. Brandon Ayuk runs really good routes. Like, that's what you need, somebody that can separate themselves through routes. And then you got a slot receiver who runs really good routes as well. Got a really good possession receiver, catches the ball that you throw to him. So I think that, yeah, that should be their main goal. Because George Pickens is good, and I think Roman Wilson is good, but right now you don't know.
That was going to be my question.
The rookie thing, you don't never know.
It can take time.
Exactly.
It can absolutely take time.
And the AFC North, as competitive as it is,
no question.
as people say it's the best in NFL, like, you can get late, or it can get late early.
Let me ask you this about Pickens. Let's say that they don't get Pickens. I'm sorry, they don't get Ayuk.
Okay.
Do you believe that Pickens is ready to be a true number one with Deontay Johnson out of the equation in Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he make it because he has the attitude for it. He has the big playmaking ability. And when they needed him the most, like when Mason Rudolph came in there, that's when he started to shine. He just needs somebody to put the ball in the area. He makes the plays. Mm-hmm. You know, Deontay Johnson is the guy that for the past couple of years have regressed. Pickens has been the one that's been carrying the load. So, yeah, he's already become the number one there. He truly is a number one wide receiver to me.
They just need consistent quarterback play from somebody, whether it's Russ or whether it's Justin Fields. Between Pickett, Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky last year, their quarterbacks only threw for 13 touchdown passes.
Which blows my mind.
13 touchdown passes is what they got.
The interesting thing about their quarterbacks is you got Russell Wilson, who's a vet that's been in the game, that knows he's a guy that can check you into the right offense to go against whatever defense they're doing. It's like essentially a coach on the field. Mm-hmm. But if you put Justin Fields in there, now you got that extra running ability to where you already got the two-headed monster. Now you add Justin Fields into that mix. Like, and you got the offensive line fixed on paper. That's
the big one,
crazy.
Man. If they get this offensive line in order, with everything they have, we know T.J. Watt's an absolute menace on defense. Highsmith's a good pass rusher. We'll see what Cam Hayward has. He doesn't seem like he's slowing down.
No.
But the way that they're building that defense with Minka on the back end, Porter outside, I think their linebacker play is going to be really good.
They got who's the other? Or they traded for Dante Jackson.
Yes, they got him back in there.
It's a solid corner. He ain't the greatest, but he's a solid corner.
So you start to squint a little bit, and you know how Mike Tomlin gets about his business.
At the end of the day, they're going to be over 500.
No question, right?
So going under 500 is not an option in Pittsburgh.
Not with him. And so here's real quick before we hit a break. If it doesn't work out with either Russ or Justin Fields this year, and things don't work out in Dallas this year, and they let Dak walk, I think this is the team that should be first in line to throw a big bag at Dak next season.
Yeah, because they can't get Shador because Deion, they ain't on the list that Deion let them go to. So.
We'll get to Deion later because he was doing some chirping on Twitter today about his son. But Pittsburgh, a lot of love right now coming out of the draft around the Steelers and what they've built on paper. When we come back, CB takes over for Ins and Outs. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Join your Franklin County Auditor's Office this Saturday for Shred Hunger, a free document shredding and e-recycling event. Documents and electronics will be safely recycled free of charge. The Auditor's Office is also encouraging donations of non-perishable foods and household items to benefit local charities. Shred Hunger, sponsored by the Ohio EPA, will be held Saturday, May 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Bropst Park in Canal, Winchester. For more information, call Franklin County Auditor Michael Stenziano at 614-525-HOME. That's 614-525-4663.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency, just another way to give your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help you save money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert, and I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. But that's not just a slogan. It's the Care creed, not Creed the band. Yeah! It's the way they live their life and the way they strive to be remembered by you, the customer, at the end of every interaction with Care. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, especially if you get it with a small coffee or soft drink for just $5. Get to Wendy's for a Cinnabon Pull-Apart today.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPV LLC.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
There was some speed to this.
The sudden roars.
Gauged it just right.
That Sunday celebration.
From Oslo to Ohio, Victor Hovland is the champion.
It's better live. Join us at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, June 3rd through 9th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Now that spring is here, it's a great time to get your roof inspected to see how it made it through the winter. Call Schottenstein Roofing at 614-321-8888 or go to schottensteinroofing.com to find out about their interest-free finance options. Schottenstein Roofing, a proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A warm afternoon as a mix of sun and clouds pushes temperatures into the 80s. Can't totally rule out a pop-up somewhere across the region, but those chances will be small. A better chance for a pop-up shower or storm will arrive by Thursday of highs in the low to mid 80s. Better rain chances come through Friday, cooling us by the weekend. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Sign up at oh.bet365.com. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
All right, CB, it's your segment. Take over, big dog. What do you got
today? All right, number one, we saw that Mike Trout suffered another injury. Sounds like it's going to require surgery, but it doesn't sound like it's season ending quite yet. My question to you, though, is are you in or out on making the statement we've seen the last of the peak of Mike Trout?
I'm into it. Mike Trout, he was at the peak when he was on, man. Mike Trout was must-see baseball.
No question.
And don't get me wrong, every now and again he give you that moment, but the consistency is gone. It's not coming back. He's done. He's done.
I got to be in on this, CB, and it is really unfortunate.
It is.
When you hear him yesterday, and he talked about how he doesn't even remember how it happened. Like, I heard him talk about this. He was very emotional. He said he was just laying in bed, and he got worried about the pain. Then he tried to walk it off for a day, came back, had the same pain, and said, I got to get it looked at. And they told him, you're going to be out for a while, maybe even in the entire season. The sad part is, like, you guys are talking about his peak, and it seemed like he was at his peak this year. I mean, he's tied for the lead in home runs with 10 already, like out of the gate on a bad team. So, yeah, his best days are probably behind him, CB. We're deep into the back nine with Mike Trout, unfortunately.
If that contract ages poorly, it could be like a Miguel Cabrera situation up there in Detroit with how much time is left on that thing. Yep. Question number 2 for you. The 76ers, they bring it back to a 3-2 series there with the Knicks. A great shot by Tyrese Maxey late in that fourth quarter. My question to you, though, is can we see this, or will we see the 76ers complete the 3-1 comeback?
I don't think so. But, man, they are making me question my decision right now. Because what Embiid and Maxey are doing together, and Embiid is as beat up as you can get, and he's still performing at a high level. The dude had a triple-double last night. He almost had the quadruple-double. He had 9 turnovers, but we won't talk too much about that. I don't think they're going to go back to the Garden in a Game 7 situation and come out of there with a win. But Tyrese Maxey he might be the guy to make me eat my words. But I'm going to be out. I still think the Knicks are coming out of this series as the victors.
I'm with you. I'm out on it. But I can see it going 7 games. I just think that when they get to game, if they do win this next game and it does go back to the Garden, I just think they would have used so much energy to get it to 7 that they just kind of run out of gas. And Embiid's not 100%.
All right, question number 3. Bo Nix, we know he's now with the Broncos. Not a very good quarterback room around him with Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson, who did not get his 5th-year option picked up by those Broncos. No surprise there. But the question is, are you in or out on Bo Nix starting Game 1?
I'm in it. I'm in. You took him number 1 for a reason. He was the guy that y'all said all throughout the draft, oh, that's our guy. And only because you knew that was probably going to be the guy that was left. So I think that's why y'all just fell in love with the guy. But I think with Sean Payton, listen, Bo Nix got some game to him. You know, is he the greatest? I don't think he's the greatest. But under Sean Payton, I think that he can be a really good player there. Plus, they went and got the guy, Troy Franklin, his teammate. So I think that's going to elevate him and help him get to be the number 1 guy come week 1.
He'll be comfortable, right? I think that's a great point. When you go out and get Franklin, an explosive playmaker up in Eugene last year. I'll be in on this as well. I mean, we've seen the Zach Wilson experience. We saw last year. The dude had his chance to really stamp who he could be in the league, and it was just way too inconsistent. And Jarrett Stidham, he might provide a bit of a safe floor, but his ceiling I don't think is as high as Bo Nix. Bo Nix comes in with a whole bunch of game experience, both in the SEC and the Pac-12. In the last 2 years, he's been highly productive. And people say, T, if you squint hard enough, you might see a little Drew Brees in Bo Nix and his stature and maybe his ability to get the ball out quick, and pairing that with Sean Payton. Now, you got to squint really, really hard to see it, but that's what some people are seeing. But I think Bo Nix, when they get to week 1 of the 2024 season, CB, he will be the QB1 for Denver.
All right, question number 4. I thought it was pretty funny that the pick that the Patriots got back from trading Mac Jones, it was a late-round pick. They ended up using it on Joe Milton, so that they found their next backup quarterback using the Mac Jones pick. But let's talk about Mac himself. He's down there with those Jaguars. He's obviously going to be a backup there. The question is, are you in or out on Mac Jones being a top 5 backup in the league?
How you feel about that?
I mean, who do you consider great backups now?
That's what I was going to.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis. You got Flacco's in Indy, right? Top of my
That's
head.
a good one.
Flacco's in Indy. Look, let me ask you this about New England. Week 1, is it Drake May or Jacoby Brissett? Because
Jacoby Brissett.
He's the starter in week 1.
I personally think. Okay. I mean, because their OC is AVP, and AVP is like, I know Jacoby Brissett knows my stuff. He was just with me 2 years ago.
I think I can rock with this. I can go in on Mac Jones. He might be right there at the back end because you guys named a couple of guys I would take before him. But yeah, I'm okay with that.